Yo, what's up, Ghost here. Today I'm bringing you guys finally another comparison video. Have not made one of these in over a month, and even then I haven't consistently done a comparison video in quite some time. If you're new to my channel, man, you might not realize, but I pretty much built my channel around comparisons, and that's what my foundation of my channel is. That's what I always do, and I'm finally back to it with, you know, new guns and new conversations to talk about these weapons. And you know, we're back. We're finally back, and today's comparison is going to be STG versus the NZ-41. Now, I was kind of debating on which AR I wanted to like do, because to be honest, there's a lot of conversations to be had for a lot of these Vanguard ARs. I mean, you could literally compare like a few of them within each other right now, because people are saying, you know, NZ-41 is the best, or maybe even the BAR, maybe even the Automaton, maybe even the STG. But I decided to start off with this specific comparison because I feel like the STG right now is one of the more popular ARs, and the NZ-41 is, to me, in my opinion, probably the best AR in the game. Granted, don't get me wrong, the Automaton's still really good and the BAR's really good, and we're going to get to that. Don't worry, though. We're back in full swing. We are going to get to those ARs, so don't you worry. But today, we're going to start off with this one. And just a little disclaimer, right now, all this is going to pretty much be before the little update that they had. They just had an update on December 9th, literally at night, where they made a certain slight adjustments to attachments. Like, for example, the NZ-41, the original clip size was 45 for one of the mags, now it's 50. The STG went from 45 to 60. Like, all these little changes. I'm not entirely sure what specific changes they made to any other attachments, but I'm pretty sure they, you know, they said that they made some adjustments to it. But regardless, man, I don't know if it's gonna affect, unless it's like a bloom change. I don't really think it's gonna affect this person in any way, which, you know, we'll get to in a second. But with that being said, let's get into the STG. And here we have the recoil pattern for the STG. And I gotta be honest, bro, recoil patterns for these Vanguard weapons are a little bit wonky, because if you guys are not aware, there's a thing in this game for specifically Vanguard weapons called bloom. Basically, if bloom is like, it makes your gun just not 100% accurate. So you could have your crosshairs lined up with someone, and if they're a certain distance away, even if you shoot, even if your crosshairs literally on them, the bullets are just gonna go like around them. It's not gonna directly hit them. Like, it's a really stupid change that they decided to do, and quite frankly, it affects Vanguard weapons, because if you play the normal BR mode and you're using a Vanguard AR, I'm not saying it's impossible to like compete with like an EM2, even though it did get nerfed. But these other, you know, Cold War, Modern Warfare ARs, like, theoretically are better, because at least then you can hit your shots, and especially they're a lot more effective over the course of like really long range. Not saying that these guns can't compete at long range or can't really do much at long range, but with bloom, man, it's very difficult. But the one thing about these weapons is a lot of them pretty much have no recoil, especially when you put on like 10 attachments. Like, they don't have much recoil. The SEG, I wouldn't say it doesn't have any recoil. Maybe I really can't control it, bro, because I gotta be honest, I was actually kind of struggling with this gun. Like, the NZ-41, the thing about it is it kills kind of fast, really fast. So even if I'm like kind of struggling, I'm gonna probably outgun someone, especially if I get the first bullet. The STG, it just didn't hit the same. And I don't know, I gotta be honest, from my personal experience, I don't consider this gun to be even a top 3 AR. I can see why people might consider it the best AR, but quite frankly, bro, if you ask me, I don't think it really stands a chance against the Automaton, the NZ-41, or even BAR, because the BAR is a hitter too. And they just got a 40mm mag, yeah. But I'm not gonna sit here and, you know, talk down about the STG, because the STG, like I said, bro, it does have potential to be a good weapon. And I think once they hopefully like address this bloom situation and they make these guns just act normal, I think this gun will definitely be a lot better. I just think, I don't know, but for me personally, I tried different sites too. Like, I used the 2.5 site, and then I've used this one site called the 1229/slate 3.25, which is like a site that you can switch between. That's all a lot of people running it. But I decided to stick with 2.5, and I think, I don't know, man. There were certain gunfights where I was missing a lot of bullets, and granted, I'm still a little bit rusty. I'm still not like 100% at my peak, and so right now I'm not playing the best, and so these guns are still kind of catching me off guard. Trying to control them is a little bit tough, because I'm not 100% used to it, and I'm constantly switching attachments and guns like every day. Like, I'm just trying to try everything out. But I've used enough of the STG to know that this gun just feels weird, and I've lost a lot of gunfights to like Automatons, or even NZ-41s, and I don't know, because I looked at the stats for the STG. I don't really like want to say it because there's only stats for the STG available from what I found. I couldn't find NZ-41 stats, and I don't want to really provide that. But just based off of it alone, bro, if STG went head on against the NZ-41 or even automaton, like, it's not gonna win. Like, trust me, like, I already tried. Like, it's just I've lost those gunfights, and I've hit all my shots. You know, in some situations I didn't, like some longer situations I didn't, but other times I did, and I still lost. But you know, everyone's experience is different. You might completely be fine with it. And I've seen a lot of screenshots on Twitter of a lot of people getting crazy gameplays with the STG. So I'm not saying it, like I said, like it's not completely useless, but to me, in my opinion, I just can't see it being better. And hopefully when all the stats come out, it maybe gives me a better understanding to see if it truly is, or maybe it's like the fire. Because I gotta be honest, bro, I think if anything, the reason why this gun might not be to me the best is because of the fire rate. And if you have not been made aware yet, in Vanguard, or specifically with Vanguard weapons, fire rate is king. The PPSH and Tommy gun are proof of that, bro. They're just king. But anyways, man, with that being said, let's move on over to the NZ-41. And I gotta tell you guys, you gotta prepare yourself for this recoil pattern, because just take a look at this, man. Oh man, when I first saw this, bro, I was mama. As you can see there, bro, I was looking around, bro, because I was just, I was mind blown. Like, it started off really, really good. Like, you know, it looked like it had no recoil, and then all of a sudden it starts going right, and then it went back up, bro. This by far one of the craziest recoil patterns that I have seen. And to be honest, like, in terms of base recoil, it competes with the MG off the ground. If you guys have seen the MG off the ground, you know, bro, this gun, man, it should not be as good as it is, considering that recoil pattern. Well, then again, you can have 10 attachments in this game, so like I said, bro, I think best recoil patterns kind of, I don't know, they might not be too relevant this year, because you're actually able to put on 10 attachments, and that is just even mind-boggling. Like, how am I able to put on 10 attachments on a gun? It makes no sense. But I gotta be honest, bro, these guns kind of need them, because, bro, if you don't have any attachments on these guns, they suck. Because of bloom, and in fact, bro, just, I don't know, man, like, the situation with these guns will remind me a lot of Cold War weapons when they first came out. If you guys were there or when, you know, if you remember the integration of Cold War, a lot of the ARs weren't that good at range. Like, they were decent at close to medium range, but at range, bro, they were completely ass. At times, the bullets also felt like there was bloom. That's the same way I feel about these Vanguard guns. But hopefully they address it. I don't really want to keep mentioning bloom too much, because we all know, we already aware of them. I apologize, I don't want to do that. But man, the NZ-41 was one of the guns that I spent a lot of time experimenting with. I'm not gonna lie, the STG-44, I kind of just looked at a class from Aiden, used that, and you know, had the little success with it that I did. I actually got my first one with the STG, so I can't hate on to it too much. But again, I still consider it a pretty subpar AR. I don't really consider it better than NZ and Automaton or Bar, and especially against any of the other Cold War or Modern Warfare guns. But the NZ-41, bro, this gun is really, really good. And I finally felt like I got the right class setup for it. If you guys saw my video yesterday and saw the class setup earlier in this video, but I really do feel like that was the class setup that I personally got going for me, and it's been working, bro. The gun kills extremely fast, and it's just really, really good. And I hope, man, they fix the problems with these guns, so the NZ-41 could be the actual next true meta. Like, if we were to play normal Battle Royale with all the weapons involved, I think the NZ-41, when everything's said and done and they're able to finally iron out the issues with these guns, I think this gun could be like the next EM2. It essentially has the same mold as the EM2, kind of a slow fire rate, high hitting, or you know, high power, whatever. It's very powerful, like the EM2, and in my opinion, bro, it's the Vanguard version of the EM2, basically. And it just is getting held back by that stupid little bloom. But you know, again, and in this comparison particularly, bro, the STG, like I said, bro, is still solid. I would definitely, you know, use it for fun, but I don't see myself picking that gun over an NZ-41. Like, if I had a go-to class setup right now, it would probably be NZ-41 PPSH. It wouldn't be, or in between these two, because I still haven't really tried the Automaton, and I still really haven't tried the Bar, so I can't really give you guys an outside opinion on those weapons. But I could definitely give you guys an opinion on the guns that I have used. But as time goes on and I'm fully able to experiment, I can give you guys more insight on these weapons, like I normally did in my comparisons. But again, it's only been like 2 days in the game. I'm expecting a lot more changes. I'm not even sure if, or I'm expecting changes on these guns soon. I think they mentioned that there's gonna be more weapon balancing coming soon, and so hell, this video could already be irrelevant in like 2 days. But for now, day 2 or whatever, this is how I feel about this weapon. And again, bro, if you were to ask me which gun I would prefer or pick, it's definitely the NZ-41. I mean, if you can't tell already, and I'm not trying to sound biased. I know you guys probably feel like I've been biased towards the NZ-41, but and the STG just wasn't hitting for me. For you guys, it might. But yeah, man. Let me know what you guys think about both these weapons down below. Which one do you prefer and why? And again, man, let me know what any comparisons you want to see. I already have a few in mind that I'm going to be working on these next couple of days. But if there's one particularly that you want to see, let me know so I can try to pump it out if there's high demand for it. But yeah, man. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys later, and I'm out. Peace.